Anyway, beef and broccoli stir fry. The first thing I'm going to get going is a quick and easy marinade that starts with just some cooking sherry. If you don't have that around the house, a little bit of dry white wine would work, like a Chardonnay. Soy sauce. And it's about 2 tablespoons of each. I think I went a little heavy on the sherry there. Black pepper. And cornstarch. So this is one of those quick marinades that you can throw together just after work. You come home from work, you need to get dinner on the table in a hurry. This is perfect because you don't need to let it marinate all day long. I mean, if you had a few hours, you certainly could park this in the fridge and really get some great flavor in here, but I get it. Sometimes we just don't have time in the morning, just got to get out the door. So this is not a problem. It's just going to work and give that beef some quick flavor. So I just want to really kind of coat the beef with the marinade, and we'll let it sit for a second before we get going on to the next step. Okay, perfect. All right, now I'm going to quickly, you know how you go to a Chinese restaurant and their stir fries are wonderful because the vegetables still have some nice crunch to them, and the vegetables also have great color. I'm going to show you how you can get that great color and crunch at home. There are some definite secrets, tips, and tricks to doing a great stir fry, and one of them is using fresh vegetables rather than canned or frozen vegetables. I usually don't even like to use leftover vegetables in stir fries because they've already been cooked. So when they end up in a stir fry, they're going to get even more mushy. So, you know, if I've got a half of a pepper, some celery, some carrots in that bottom produce drawer of your refrigerator, that's the kind of leftovers I want to be using, the fresh leftovers. So, you know, that's one of the keys to a really good stir fry. So I'm just taking some broccoli. And I talked about keeping that nice, wonderful, bright green color that, you know, they have when you go to Chinese restaurants. I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to drop the broccoli into some boiling water, just a pinch of salt, and Anne's going to make me keep an eye on that. And I just want to really quickly cook that, and then I want to stop the cooking process and plunge the broccoli into some ice water, a cold water bath, and that's going to help it stay nice and bright green. Okay. One more thing I'm going to quickly make, and that's a sauce. A lot of people, you know, if you're making stir fry at home, pick up bottles of stir fry sauce that you can buy at the grocery store. Yeah, it's convenient, but you don't need to spend your money on that. You probably have the same ingredients right in your pantry to make a quick, easy stir fry sauce. You've got soy sauce in your pantry, right? So we're going to use a lot of the ingredients that we used in the marinade to make a quick stir fry sauce. So soy sauce, some chicken stock. Been making a lot of soups lately, so I've got chicken stock on hand. And this is the one ingredient you might not have, but it's great to, you know, stock up on certain, if you do a lot of stir fries or you want to start doing a lot of stir fries, which are so nice and healthy. This is oyster sauce. So there's certain Asian ingredients I try and keep in my pantry: sesame oil, oyster sauce, some other teriyaki sauce, soy sauce. You have these on hand, and it's a thicker sauce. It's just got a lot of flavor. So we're going to do a couple tablespoons of that. Just smells really great. Smells like, you know, all those great Asian flavors that we love. So I'm going to whisk that together, and this is going to be our sauce that's going to bring our whole dish together. All right, let me check on my broccoli. Nice and bright green. At this point, I'm going to stop the cooking process, drain it, and get that broccoli into some ice water. Just keep it in the sink, and you'll see how nice, and you can see it already how nice and bright green it is. Okay, time to get this stir fry rocket and rolling. So the biggest pan you have, if you don't have a wok, just get the biggest skillet you have, a little bit of oil. You don't need a whole ton. I like to use vegetable or canola oil. Smoking hot pan, that is the key. So we're going to take our beef that's been marinating for about 10 minutes at home. Try and let it sit for about 10 minutes. And we've got just thin strips of steak. Flank steak is one of my favorite steaks to use. Sirloin works great, but now to make it really easy, they actually have stir-fry already pre-cut steak right at the grocery store, already done for you. So if you want to take a shortcut, you don't want to cut up your own. But this is a great way, even if you get like a nice whole beef tenderloin and you're using the center part to do, you know, some nice steaks, you've got some ends. This is a great way to use some of the ends or some, you know, little bits of steak that need using. Doesn't have to be the real expensive stuff, but you notice how I'm spreading out the steak in the pan. I'm not overcrowding it so that it's got a little bit of time to brown on each side. Sometimes it won't, all that steak won't fit in there, so you can just brown it up in batches. But if you ever watch at a Chinese restaurant how they do it, they have a lot going on, a lot of movement going on, and really hot pans. I think I'm going to be able to fit all that in here. If your pan, you're not hearing that sizzle, get the meat out, reheat the pan and start over again. You don't want that beef to hang out and get gray and cook low and slow. You want it to be smoking hot. You want to get some really nice color on that. Okay, a couple of cloves of garlic. Stir fries are just, I mean, once you get into the swing of it, so quick and easy, quicker than pizza delivery. Great way to save money and eat healthy. And beef has some great protein. We're not, you know, not all going to be eating a whole steak. We're just eating a little bit of our steak in with a stir fry and with some broccoli and other vegetables. So, all right, so we're getting some great color. That's the color we're looking for. I'm going to do a teeny bit more oil just because my steak is sticking. If you want to cut back on the oil, use it. You know, you can use cooking spray or use a nice big non-stick pan. That's a way to use a little less oil. Some of the woks are non-stick, which is nice. I'm going to flip it over. Just that little bit of marinade in the steak makes it smell delicious. And wait till we add the stir-fry sauce. Okay. So now I'm going to come in with the garlic. If you watch the show, you know my rule about garlic. Especially when you have a pan that's this hot and this big. Get it moving, moving, moving. Just for about 30 seconds until we're just heating that garlic and getting a great smell. Okay, now in goes our stir-fry sauce. For some color, and I love using red pepper in more and more recipes. It's so healthy. It's just bright and beautiful. So I'm going to do some red pepper strips. Anne tried red pepper for the first time today, a raw one, and she said, this is not too bad. I know, it's one of those things, if you put red pepper on a veggie and dip tray, watch it disappear. Kids will go right for it because of the great bright red color. Super good for you. So just start putting red pepper in more of your recipes, salads, stir fries, things like that. Used to be when those red and yellow and orange peppers, they were kind of expensive, and they've really come down in price. They're not much more than the regular green pepper. So this sauce is already starting to thicken up pretty nicely. I do have a little bit of cornstarch and water that sometimes you'll need it, sometimes you don't. Well, I'll just do it in the same bowl that I did my sauce in to thicken this. But this is such a big skillet, and I'm not sure if we're going to need too much of that. In goes our beautiful broccoli now at this point. We'll just drain it. Look at that great color. That's why just taking the time to quickly plunge that in the ice water after you've steamed it, and it's still going to have some really nice crunch to it. So I just want to stir that around, coat that broccoli in the beef. At this point I can add my cornstarch mixture if you want to just tighten up the sauce just a little bit. And then to stretch this, I've got some rice, and we did brown rice just to keep it a little healthier. And no, that's not for one. That's going to serve a couple. That's a big amount of brown rice. Okay, the broccoli and the beef and the peppers. I know, have you ever seen such gorgeous broccoli? And it's so easy to do. And then you can top this, if you'd like, with some toasted sesame seeds or some chopped scallions. But there you go. Beef and broccoli stir fry recipe is on the website.